Okay, good morning everyone. Let us start with the current affair. Okay, chaliye, let us start with today's current affair. Yesterday I have told you about the use of tobacco, and specifically we talked about e-cigarette because the use of e-cigarette is growing day by day. So I thought, very good morning beta. So I thought let us complete this e-cigarette also. In future if question is asked, we will not like that ki chalo nahi discuss kiya tha. So we'll start with basically e-cigarette and what are the provisions has been taken to stop this problem of e-cigarette, and what is the act which is related to it. Now, one of the major question of today is that we will discuss on Monday, because a proper series of Nobel Prize has been actually distributed physiology mein, literature mein, physics mein, chemistry mein. So lot of Nobel Prizes mein winners we have got. So Monday we will going to discuss which of the following individuals have got Nobel Prize in which field, and which is the actually particularly section or the particular field on which they were working on, so that for that particular thing they got the Nobel Prize. But the question is not that. Question is that today Nobel Peace Prize is actually they will going to announce who is actually getting the Nobel Peace Prize, and everything which is actually initiated in the current scenario by Mr. Trump is to get this Nobel Peace Prize. So he said that I have stopped the Ukraine-Russia war. He said that I have stopped the Russia and Palestine war, Israel and Palestine war. We are here with the Gaza plan. So everything he did is like he want a Nobel Peace Prize. In fact, whole USA का जो White House है, the proper aura has been set कि that Trump will get the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, if this person will not get this Nobel Peace Prize, then definitely everyone is saying that chances are very high that he can even start a war, because the kind of statements and personalities and things he does. So it will be very interesting to see that who will get the Nobel Peace Prize. Kya actually Mr. Trump will get the Nobel Peace Prize today. So that is you just follow the current affair. You will abhi jaise hi Nobel Peace will arise worldwide, it will be a sensational news ki agar Trump hua, so it will be a great celebration by Trump. Some people will criticize ki bhai what is this, now this is a bikau particular section. But if he will not get this Nobel Peace Prize, it will be interesting to see what will be the further steps that Mr. Trump will going to take. But now let us start with the current affair, that is e-cigarettes. So yesterday we have saw that ki kis tarike se according to the WHO global use, it has been the use of tobacco has been basically decreased, but the use of e-cigarettes specifically among the teenagers has been increased, and we will going to focus on that today. So, according to WHO, first global estimate of e-cigarette use, that is in 2024, and this is the first global estimate. That's why also becomes important from this year examination point of view. Teenagers are 9 times more likely to vape than adults. So, teenagers are 9 times, and this is a very big difference which you will see. They are actually vaping. I guess you remember or not, I have also discussed about ki when we basically earlier I used to, as a student when I was there in Karol Bagh. So the school students, there are a lot of private schools which are present here. I will not going to take any specific name of the school, but there whenever we actually, like on an average, whenever there was afternoon class and when we used to visit for the class ke liye when you used to visit, and when we get down from the metro, there's a corner point over there, and around 2 to 2:30, like from 1 to 2:30 to till 3 you can say, lot of kids, like on an average 8, 9, 10th, 11th class students, they actually stand at that corner near the metro station, and they used to vape. And then I was like, yaar, ye kya ho raha hai? How these kids will going to, how they are seeing their future as. So this is actually the data. When you will see the ground reality, you will realize that this is not something which is exaggerated data. Actually, it is the reality. Majority of the kids now, they are seeing it as a swag person. But they are saying that if I am vaping, then I am a very cool kind of a guy. So this is the misconception because of which e-cigarettes and vaping is increasing, and that's why this is one of the major concern, not only for India but also worldwide, because the teenagers consumption of e-cigarette is 9 times higher than normal tobacco or cigarette use. Now, e-cigarette is a battery operated. Why it is called E? Because it's an electronic cigarette. And earlier they used to say कि भाई normal cigarette के comparison में e-cigarettes are less dangerous, but thing is not that. They are also equally dangerous for the students or for the active user also and for the passive user as well. So that this is actually, it is also very dangerous for the human being. So e-cigarettes, obviously it's a battery operated cigarettes which you will see. So there's a liquid which is present in that. So e-cigarettes are battery operated devices that heat a liquid into a inhalable aerosol. Aerosol is also in news. Why it is in news? This is also one of the important aspect. In 2 to 3, after 2 to 3 articles, you will see about this aerosol. What is the impact and what are the different aspects related to it. So first of all, this is the e-cigarette battery operated liquid is there. When it is heated, this vape kind of a thing comes out. मतलब the धुआं आपका बाहर आता है. It actually includes nicotine, polypropylene glycol, glycerine and flavoring agents and some other chemicals. So this can be asked in UPSC as a statement basis कि which of the following, either in a statement basis or कि भाई they can ask you polypropylene glycol, nicotine, glycerine and the out of which of the following are the major things which are produced in e-cigarettes or which of the following are part of e-cigarette. So these are the chemicals which are majorly used in the production of e-cigarette. So this could be asked as a prelims perspective in statement form also and in optional form as well ki bhai out of which of the following are used in a production of e-cigarette. So this is also the aspect which you will see. They are also known as vape pens or it is also known as END. What is END? Electronic nicotine delivery system or ENNDS, that is electronic non-nicotine delivery system. So this is actually what e-cigarette is all about and it is equally addictive when we compare it to the normal cigarettes. So this is just an insider. Yesterday also we have saw how the normal cigarettes work and this is the function or this is the particular interior of your e-cigarettes. So here is a liquid which is present from where you can see कि जिस तरीके से the conversion is taking place and this is the battery charging point. This is the part which we charge and this is what giving power to this e-cigarette, that is for the vaping for the students. So this is the anatomy and this is the inside of the e-cigarette which you will see. Now what are the key findings of WHO? That is more important from our examination point of view. This is a very kind of a scary data which you will see. 15 million teenagers, 15 million teenagers, that is from 13 to 15 years, use e-cigarettes globally. This is the number of students or the kids or the teenagers which are of 13 to 15 years who are actually using this e-cigarettes at a very larger scale. In fact, 9 times higher, which we have saw in the heading itself. Ki 9 times more likely they are actually addicted to such e-cigarettes and vapes. If we talk about the total vape users worldwide, so 100 million vape users are there, including 86 million adults, mostly highly income nations. Yani ki still the country like India, which is still in a developing phase, the consumption or the consuming of this e-cigarette is still less, but as compared to the highly income nations, the kids or the teenagers or the adults which are present in these particular states, they are consuming this particular e-cigarettes at a very larger number. So 15 million teenagers, that is 13 to 15 years, 9x more times, then 100 million users, out of which 86 millions are the adult, mostly are from the major highly income nations. And when we see the number which has been increased, so it is 1.38 billion to 1.2 billion, that is in 2024. Halaki it has been declined, which we have saw yesterday also, ki the number has been declined, but still the increase of e-cigarettes can be seen in this particular scenario. And when we talk about the regional perspective, Southeast Asia में male tobacco use fell from 70% to 37%. Europe is now the highest tobacco prevalence particular continent. So these are the data which are equally important from prelims and mains perspective as well. So this data is very important because yesterday also, or the moment when we are actually studying data, I always say that ki UPSC can also as these kind of a data in statement based also, plus you can use these data in answer writing and essay writing. It will going to enhance or enrich your essays. So please make sure you are remembering data. Make a separate notebook, or you can make a separate side, or wherever you are writing your current affair, you can give separate 2 to 5 pages space to your data. So like whatever the data which are mentioned here, at the end of the year when you're revising those data, you will have a good number of data and good number of basically good content which will going to enrich your answers. So please make sure you are writing these data at a separate place, because achanak se everything will not be remembered. You have to revise this in a daily, weekly, monthly basis, so that more and more data you can recognize, you can remember. So this is actually, these data are very important. Plus these data can be also written in ethics paper. So that's why it is important from prelims also. It is equally important from all the GS answer. Plus it will, especially it will going to enrich your ethics and essay writing paper. So please make sure you are actually looking after such data. You are mentioning these data. You are noting down these data. Now, what is actually the major act which I have also given yesterday as an homework? What is Prohibition of Electronic Cigarette Act? That is 2019, which has been came into the system. Now, under this act which we have taken, which we have actually included in the system, the aim is to complete ban on what? Production, import, export, transport, sale, distribution, storage, advertisements of e-cigarette. But despite that, a good number of Indian teenagers are actually using this e-cigarette. But according to Prohibition of Electronic Cigarette Act 2019, complete ban, not even partial, complete ban of production, import, export, transport, distribution, storage and advertisements of e-cigarette, but still the things are used. Now, what is the penalty? Penalty is like your jail also and fine also. What is the particular penalties which you will see? If anyone is manufacturing, selling or advertising the e-cigarette, imprisonment up to 1 year or 1 lakh fine can be there in the first offense. But again, if they are repeating the offense, then 3 years of jail or 5 lakh of basically they have to pay fine as a 5 lakh. So if I am manufacturing, if I am including in sale and advertisement, and if I am a first time offender, then I have to, the chances are very high कि I will be imprisoned for 1 year, or basically I will be imposed a 1 lakh fine. But if second time again I am repeating the offense, then I can end up into 3 years of jail or basically 5 lakh of fine. So this is the punishment for if we are involved in the manufacturing, sale and advertisement of the e-cigarette. Now, storage, up to 6 month jail or 50,000 fine. If I am keeping it, if I am storing it at my place, then also it is a fine up to 6 month ka jail ho sakta hai, or fine up to 50,000. This is the second thing. Now, what are the exemptions? These e-cigarettes are exempted under the Prohibition of Electronic Cigarette Act 2019 when it is used by researchers or particularly individual companies, authorities, or the particular whatever the organization which is involved, which is actually working on the research, development and study related to e-cigarettes. So only those are exempted for such e-cigarettes. So exemption permitted only for research and testing purpose. So this is the exception of your Prohibition of e-cigarette act. That is very important from examination point of view. So this is the act which we were actually talking about yesterday and which is important from examination point of view. Now, what are the challenges in Indian perspective? Specifically I am talking about this is not e-cigarette which is actually available in the normal panwadis or normal e-cigarette shops, cigarette shops. Actually, majority of the people who are consuming, specifically the teenagers who are consuming, they are actually finding it from the different kind of e-commerce platform. So it is available on e-commerce platform. That is the major concern, because over 60% of the e-cigarette products remain available on e-commerce platform, and this is the report of Voluntary Health Association India 2023. This is the major concern. Yani ki openly on internet people are purchasing, but government is just saying ki act hai to band ho jayega, but they are not actually looking after the particularly matter on the online purposes. So 60% of the availability easily they are available on the e-commerce. That is the major challenge. Second, majority of the youngsters are actually so much addicted to it that they are even ready to illegally have this particular e-cigarette, and because of the flavors that are added in because e-cigarettes are flavored, yani ki different flavors ka you can get this e-cigarette. So these youth are so addicted to some flavors, because of which it becomes challenge for us to actually stop them from consuming such e-cigarettes. So this is their second major concern which you will see in Indian perspective. Proper lack of support system. There is no lack of support system. That's why you can see 60% of the people, they are buying from basically e-commerce. So this is the lack of support and lack of organization and governmental. This is also the lackness of government. Now, majority of the time people say that it is very easy to blame government, it is very easy to basically say ki government is responsible, but the point is that yes, government is responsible. We are not the authority, we are not the person who will going to look after all the things in this particular country or a state. This is the authority of the state governments and the center government, because we are paying taxes, we have voted them, so it's your responsibility. ठीक है, it's also a civic sense, but the point is that if things will be not available, then it will be easy for us to stop youth from addicted to such things. But if the things are easily accessible, easily they can afford that, easily they can have access of the same thing, then how we can actually work on their consumption, lessen the consumption of the e-cigarette. So this is one of the concern which you will see. These are the major challenges of your e-cigarettes in the country, specifically challenges in the India you will see, which is related to e-cigarette. Now, one more article which was actually not related to this, but yes, the campaign which has been recently going on by the center government, that is Tobacco Free Youth Campaign 3.0. Yani ki already two versions are going on. Already we have a successful two versions of this Tobacco Free Youth Campaign 3.0. So this is an initiative which has been taken by two ministries, Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health, and aim is to make India tobacco free. Specifically the youth should be actually not consuming such tobacco. We want to remove this tobacco from the lifestyle of the youth person. So this is what the aim of your Tobacco 3.0 campaign, which is actually specifically run to stop the use of tobacco among the youth or the youngsters. So if UPSC asks you, it is an initiative of Ministry of Health, so answer is no, it is an initiative of Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which has been launched as Tobacco Free Youth Campaign 3.0 to promote tobacco free lifestyle among the youth. So it's a complete year initiative. Answer is no, it's a 60-day initiative. So in the 60 days initiative, they will going to spread awareness, they will going to communicate with the people who are actually addicted to it, information will be spread, schools mein they will go, a proper culture will be promoted, proper showcase and proper street programs and different kind of initiatives will be taken to actually inspire youth why you should not actually consume this, and if you are addicted to such things, then we will going to help you to quit this e-cigarette. So this is what, or the tobacco, use of the tobacco. So this is what your Tobacco Free Youth 3.0 talks about. It becomes very important. All the related articles we have covered related to this. What is yesterday we have talked about the global use, which is actually WHO report of global use of tobacco. Then today we have discussed one of the major sector, out of which this is the major concern of the tobacco use. Then what is the legal framework? Yesterday I have asked you to write this, so today we have discussed this also, and the same article which is related to this, which is current part of the current affair, that is Tobacco Free Youth Campaign 3.0. Plus एक और campaign हुआ था काशी declaration, which is also not related to tobacco, but it is related to drugs, Nasha Mukt Bharat, that was held in Kashi, and we have also discussed about that in our current affair series. Now, Navi Mumbai Airport. Now this will going to become one of the first airport of India, and it is a greenfield project. There are two projects which we have discussed. One is brownfield and one is greenfield. The one which is actually started from zero, and one which is actually starting from already a टूटी-फूटी बिल्डिंग होती है, एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होता है, and from there we start. These are the two projects, that is greenfield and brownfield projects. So we are constructing Navi Mumbai Airport, and this will going to be one of the very high-tech and very kind of a developed kind of airport which will be going to be present in India. So what is the news? Pradhan Mantri Modi recently inaugurated the Navi Mumbai International Airport. 19.650 CR greenfield project. So I have already discussed in the one of the live session what is the difference between greenfield and brownfield project, and chances are very high that UPSC are asking about such projects in mains answer also. So you should about all the if and buts related to such projects which are present in the country. So it is the first kind of project, or it's the first kind of Indian airport which is actually connected to water taxis. यानी कि पानी के रास्ते they will going to have the access of the airport as well. So it will be the India first airport which is connected to water taxi and equipped with automated people mover linking terminals. यानी कि proper high tech kind of this particular airport will going to be I guess it will be completed around 2036 or 2037 के आसपास. But yes, this will be one of the most high-tech kind of airport which you will see, which will have the water taxis and which will have a automated person mover linking terminals, and it will be, yes, completed by 2036. That is Navi Mumbai International Airport, and it actually I guess it is present in the outskirts of Mumbai. So it's kind of an extended version of Mumbai, if I'm not wrong, the Navi Mumbai region. So annually it can handle up to 90 million passengers annually, and it is actually, the aim is to decongest the Mumbai airport. But yes, just a normal current affair, because first time we will going to use a water taxi, so chances are high, but chances of asking such question is more in your state service examination rather than this particular paper that is from UPSC point of view. Now the next article, this is very important article. Scientists are investigating newly discovered craters at the bottom of Seneca Lake, one of the Fingers Lake. Now from here we will going to see what is Seneca Lake, what is Fingers Lake, what are the Fingers Lake, and what are your craters. So these are the three particularly major important articles which you will see. Now here you can see this particular diagram. यहाँ पे we can see a lot of small lakes which are actually present in a elongated manner, and it is looking like a finger. So that's why these series of lakes are known as Finger Lake. Where it is present? So it is present basically, I guess it is present in USA. So it's a series of basically lakes which are present here, and it seems like a fingers, that's why it is known as Fingers Lake. Now you will see, you can see here Cornelius Lake, Hancock Lake, then different lakes name are here, but whereas this is the Seneca Lake which you will see. So here a crater has been developed. So please, it's your homework, you have to go through the series of lakes which are present here. If in case UPSC asks you which of the following rivers are part of your Fingers Lake, then you should aware of at least 5 to 6 lakes which are present here, so that you don't mark this question wrong in your prelims examination. So Fingers Lake, why they are called as Fingers Lake? Because here you can see it seems like a fingers, that's why it is known as a Fingers Lake. Now, the mysterious booms near Seneca Lake, known as Seneca guns, may be caused by methane gas burst formed in the lake from the lake bed. So यहाँ पे there is a kind of a crater which has been developed, and it is believed that because of the presence of methane gas, this crater has been formed. So we will going to look after what is crater. So Finger Lake, obviously they comprise 11 long and narrow parallel lakes in the north-south orientation, named for the finger-like shape because on the map, that's why they are known as Finger Lake. They are present in the North America, and the two largest finger lakes which you will see, the Seneca and Cayuga. So here you can see Seneca and Cayuga are the two major lakes of this Finger Lake. That's why it also become important from prelims point of view. So this is the important lakes of your North America which you will see. Now what is crater? This is what actually crater is. एक गड्ढा टाइप बन जाता है, इट्स काइंड ऑफ along आपका एक तरीके से एक होल टाइप बन जाता है. दिस इज एक्चुअली व्हाट क्रेटर इज. इट कैन बी फॉर्म बाय डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ रीजंस. कभी मीटेरॉइड या एस्ट्रॉइड के एक्सप्लोजन से हो जाता है, कभी सम गैस बर्स्ट आउट, समटाइम्स आउट ऑफ वॉल्केनिक इरप्शन. सो दीज क्रेटर्स फॉर्म्ड आउट ऑफ डिफरेंट रीजन. सो देयर इज नो वन सच रीजन विच सेज दैट कि हाँ ये इसी रीजन की वजह से दीज क्रेटर्स फॉर्म. सो क्रेटर्स कैन बी फॉर्म आउट ऑफ डिफरेंट रीजन्स. नाउ why this is more important? Because 2 to 3 years back we have invented three new craters on Mars. ठीक है, so it's your homework. And all these three craters have been named after the Indian name, and one of the crater which is found in Mars named after one of the village of Bihar. So it's your homework, which of the following three craters which was found in Mars, I guess 2021-23 के आसपास, which has been named after the Indian, particularly Indian names, or Indian names has been given to them. एक का नाम I guess it was लाल करके. So please, you have, this is your homework, you have to find out the three names of the crater which has been found on Mars, and what are the Indian particular names which are given to them. Why Indian name? Because the Indian people, we as a particular organization, have founded such craters which are present on Mars. So that's why this is one of the important aspect which you will see, and it's your homework. So from here you can understand it's a landform, it's a whole kind or a depression kind of a feature which you will see on the surface. It could be land surface also, it could be your ocean surface also, and it could be your normal lake surface as well. So this is actually what crater is all about, typically by the different activities जो कि हमने discuss किया है, like objects striking the surface, geological activity such as meteoroid, volcanic activity or explosion. So these are the causes by which these craters can be formed. Now there are majorly 2 to 3 types of crater: impact crater, volcanic crater. Some volcanic crater form out of volcanic activity, impact form out some collision, that or some explosion. So there are different kind of craters which you will see, formation of craters which you will see. Now this is just an extra information. Largest lakes by area, largest lakes by volume, deepest lakes of the world, and longest lakes of the world. So let us fatafat go through this. When we talk about the largest lakes by the area, Caspian Sea, Lake Superior, Lake Victoria, Lake Huron, and Lake Michigan. Your homework is that you have to mention ki where these, which of the following countries they are sharing border with. So this is your homework. I am telling you the largest, largest by area, largest by volume, deepest and longest, and you have to write which of the following countries are sharing border with them individually. Now largest by area, Caspian Sea, Lake Superior, Lake Victoria, Lake Huron, and Lake Michigan. Largest by volume, Caspian Sea, Lake Baikal, Lake Tanganyika, Lake Superior, and Lake Malawi. Deepest, Lake Baikal, Lake Tanganyika, Caspian Sea, Lake Vostok, and Lake Malawi. Longest, Caspian, Tanganyika, Baikal, Superior, and Balkhash. So these are the majorly, particularly lakes which you will see. Top 5 lakes by the size, by the volume, by the deep, by the particularly how much deep they are, and which is the longest one. So this is particularly the major particular ranking of the lakes which are present in the world. Your homework, I have explained you what is your homework. Please make sure, because such questions are asked ki bhai which of the lake. Caspian Sea mein it has been asked which of the following countries are sharing border with Caspian Sea. Black Sea se it has been asked which of the following seas are, which of the following countries are sharing border with basically Caspian Sea, Black Sea. So these actually lakes becomes very important from examination point of view, but recently yes, these lakes are also in news by different current affair perspectives. So automatically this section becomes important from examination point of view. So please make sure you are aware of such particularly extra information. Now, according to the scientist data, the sunlight is dimming. Yani ki after few years, the amount of sunlight which is reaching to the earth, it will be very light. Now, what is the reason? We will going to discuss that in detail. Study reveals decline in the India's sunshine hours due to rising aerosol pollution. I have told you abhi upar wale article mein ki why these aerosols are important, because there is another article also which is associated or which is related to this aerosol. Now, study reveals decline in the Indian sunshine hours due to the rising aerosol pollution. Aerosol, these are the small minute particularly tiny particles which are present in air. Now these are actually produces, what are the causes or what are the means by which these aerosols are produced? Industrial waste, biomass burning, pollution, any kind of a wildfire, gas leak. So these are the major reason why these aerosols form. Or ye aerosols, what they do, they actually go and collide with the क्लाउड्स, एंड क्लाउड्स जो होते हैं बहुत थिक हो जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से द सनलाइट, वैसे भी when we see the process of sunlight, very few sunlight actually penetrate in the region, बाकी it reflects back in the environment, but now because of the presence of aerosol, more or less sunlight will going to actually enter in the earth's surface or enter till your basically lower area. This is the concern of basically us and the scientists, because in future if sunlight will be less, then actually it will going to impact the whole environment and the process of the photosynthesis and different activities natural of human also and natural environment and animals as well. So that's why this is one of the major concern of your scientists and the authorities. So scientists attributed that solar dimming, this process is known as solar dimming, over the last 30 years to higher anthropogenic aerosol emission, that is due to industrial emission, biomass burning and vehicular pollution. These are the major causes of basically forming of these aerosols in the environment. So this you can see here, एक बहुत particularly अच्छी खासी sunlight आ रही है, some of the sunlight has been reflected back in the environment, and out of which, because of the presence of these aerosol, very limited kind of sunlight enters in the system, and that is what the concern of ours recently and the scientists, and it is continuously decreasing from last 30 years. So this is the concern, major concern which you will see. Now what are the types of aerosol? So majorly there are two types of aerosol, primary and secondary aerosol. So hope so you have understood what is aerosol. So aerosol is a solid or a liquid, tiny solid or a liquid particles which are suspended in an atmosphere in a gas medium, or basically it go and collides with basically your clouds. Now types में primary aerosol and secondary aerosol. प्राइमरी मीन्स डायरेक्टली विच आर इमिटेड, डायरेक्टली इमिटेड क्या क्या, जैसे कि सी स्प्रे, डस्ट, स्मोक एंड वॉल्केनिक एश, these are the primary sources of aerosol. What are the secondary sources? जैसे कि some the gases or the aerosol which are formed out of some chemical reaction, some industrial waste, these are known as secondary aerosol. So these are the two forms of aerosol which you will see. Primary, that is directly emitted by the volcanic ash, dust, smoke, and secondary aerosol which is artificially formed through a chemical reaction or industrial emission or biomass burning. Majorly you can say this is natural and this is by the human activities. These two are the primary and your secondary aerosols which you will see. Now what are the causes, what are the reasons, what are the particularly activities by which these aerosols are formed? So you can say sea spray, ठीक है, then volcanic ash, wildfires, biomass burning, then your automobiles, vehicle, coal fly ash burning, solid waste का वजह से, burning of major different series of burning, industrial emission. So these are the major causes of fossil fuel combustion. So these are the major causes of basically formation of aerosol in the environment, and this is the concern which is actually currently you will see. Now how it is going to impact the system? So we also know that first of all we have discussed it will going to impact the climate and weather. Obviously it is changing the whole system of climate and weather. It is which leads to solar dimming, and it is also changing the process of the cloud and the formation, rainfall. In short, it is affecting the cloud formation and climate and monsoon as well. Second, health, because these minute aerosols are also affecting our body, in fact, for example our lung system, our breathing system. This is also one of the concern, and one of the concern which has been advisory which has been established specifically in Delhi and Delhi NCR by the Supreme Court and the different health sectors and the ministries, because this time we Delhi people are highly suffering from the problem of parali, and the air pollution is at its peak. So that's why all the construction stops during this particular period, and firecrackers are banned in the country, but still people in this region, but still people are actually using or burning the firecrackers. But after that there is a lot of pollution which is present in the environment, and it is highly, this time advisory has been released by the particularly authorities and the Supreme Court, that chances are very high that majority of the people might suffer from the lung or respiratory problem, and many of them can also lead towards the can also result in your asthma problem as well. So that's why this is one of the crucial phase we Delhi and Delhi NCR people suffer because of the different reasons. Vehicle pollution, construction pollution, parali is one of the major pollution, and all that basically different different sources of pollution, and the firecrackers are like Sone Pe Suhaga. So this is the major concern every year for Delhi and Delhi NCR people. So this year, again and again, every year a higher health advisory is actually established or is actually put on by the system, so that we are aware, wear mask, basically stay protected. If not necessary, allow kids to stay inside the home, because the outer environment is not that safe. When AIQ, that is air quality index, it crosses basically 500 plus. So that is one of the major concern for Delhi and Delhi NCR. And during this particular Diwali season is one of the major concern for us. Now, it is disturbing the ecology, and obviously it is disturbing the solar power. Whole particular process of solar radiation will going to change, and it will directly going to impact which industry? That is the solar panel industry. So this is also one of the major challenge of presence of aerosol in the environment. Now, hope so it is clear, because these are one of the important aspects and repeated sections. Majority of the time UPSC has asked question directly, indirectly from aerosols. So that's why it is very important from prelims and mains perspective both. Now, this article is important. Why it is important? Because every time we see the military exercises related to Army, Navy or Air Force. But this is the military exercise, which is actually the exercise of Coastal Guard. Yani ki the people, the forces who are present on the coastal area, who are actually protecting the coast of any particular port. So this of the country. So that's why this is very important military exercise, which you will see. So Indian Coast Guard conducts 9th Net Polrex. Net Polrex, this is a particularly Coastal Guard exercise which has been recently occurred. So Indian Coast Guard successfully conducted the 10th, so this is the 9th wala, this is the 10th wala, obviously this is the image, last year image, but this year image, this is the 10th national level pollution response exercise, that is your Nat Polrex which has been taken place in your basically Chennai coast. So this is the news. So from here we will going to see what is Nat Polrex. So Nat Polrex is basically a exercise by the Coastal Guard, and it is conducted annually. So answer is no. It becomes important because this is the exercise which is conducted biannually, yani ki after every 2 years. So that's why this also becomes very important. And this year why it is also very important? Because one of the major work of this military exercise in Coastal Guards is to look after the oil spills. Yani ki majority of the seas, when they actually come towards the coast, majority of the time the incident like oil spill takes place. So which is also impacting the environment, near about the environment of the sea also, and it is also not a good sign for the countries as well. So abhi recent mein lot of near your Kerala coastal area, I guess Chinese or some of the coastal, some of the ships of basically different countries have led to oil spills, and there was a fire cases also, incident also took place in the coastal areas of near your Kerala, in your Indian Ocean. So that's why, because of the series of incident of oil spills and such kind of mishappening occurred in our coastal areas, this particularly exercise also becomes important from examination point of view. So one of the major work of this particular exercise or this particular aim is to actually look after the oil spills and protection of the marine oil spills. So Net Polrex 10 is a biennial exercise, and the key component is to make marine environmental protection framework. So one of the major work is to look after the marine environmental protection. It aims to strengthen the national preparedness, interagency coordination and response of marine oil spills under National Oil Spill Disaster Contingency Plan. So oil spill is also considered as a disaster. And it's a kind, you can say it's an anthropogenic disaster, yani ki it's a man-made disaster. So that's also become important. If UPSC asks you explain the disaster and what is the difference between man-made, or explain your answer with some of the man-made disasters. So this can be one of the extreme or one of the good example to show, that is oil spills. So what is the major work of Nat Polrex? It's actually look after the marine protection, and specifically under marine protection, they are looking after and taking care and responsible and taking different mitigation activities to prevent or to look after your oil spills. Under which organization? National Oil Spill Disaster Contingency Plan ke under they are working for the protection of oil spills in the marine area. and it is also one of the initiative which is helping India to work on the Atmanirbhar Bharat and basically your Make in India concept as well. So this is also important from that particular point of view. The key highlight of this is because the first time we are also working on how we can work on the clean up drill at marine beaches, yani ki how we can go for the excavation drilling, go for the exploration of the oil and gases, but in a very cleaner manner. This is also one of the first time in this edition they have talked about this. That's why this becomes very important also. A key highlight of 10th edition was the first ever shoreline cleanup drill at Marina Beach involving multiple state agencies in stimulated incident. That's why this becomes more important from examination point of view. Now, CBI arrested 8 key operatives of transnational cyber crimes under Operation Haichi 6. Now, if UPSC asks you Haichi 6, the term recently seen in news related to what? So, Haichi 6 is basically an initiative which is taken between CBI and Interpol. Not only CBI but the different agencies of the world and Interpol to work on the transnational cyber crime. Yani ki the cyber crime is not limited. For example, according to the I4C report, on an average when half of the month was crossed, the half of the year was crossed, a good number of money we have lost in cyber crime. India has lost in cyber crime. And where were the people who were hacking and who were the people who were responsible for such cyber crimes? They were dealing from Southeast Asian country. This shows that this cyber crime is not national, it's transnational. Yani ki the people from sitting in the different country can loot the people which is present here. So that's why Interpol and different agencies, they have worked together to curb such transnational cyber crimes in the country under a particular initiative that is known as Haichi 6. And Haichi 6 is an initiative, from the name itself it shows that something which is related to Korean language. So the whole funding of this initiative has been given by our Republic of Korea or South Korea. And why CBI? Because Interpol is like an organization, it is like an organization, it is called as an international police. So, which of the following organization is representing Interpol from India? So, it's CBI. So, that's why with help of CBI and Interpol, we have actually working on the 8 key operational of transnational crimes under the program that is Haichi 6. So, if UPSC asks you what is Haichi 6? So, Haichi 6 is basically your initiative which has been taken by CBI and Interpol to curb the problem of transnational cyber crime. So, financially supported by Republic of Korea, which we have already discussed, aim is to work to combat the global cyber crime, transnational cyber crime, and majorly they are targeting 5 regions. So, what are the 5 types of online fraud they are working on? Is investment fraud, ki yahan invest karo, you will get this much money. Romance scams, because lot of honey trap is taking place online. Money laundering, obviously the illegal money which has the illegal online gambling. Online sextortion and voice phishing. Voice phishing matlab कि they will fake voice कि भाई your particular फलाना फलाना बेटा तुम्हारा मम्मी तुमको यहाँ पे arrest कर दिया, accident हो गया है, you have to give that money, or your child has been actually क्या बोलते हैं, he has been trapped in a drug का case, and then someone will talk like your particular child. So इस तरीके से voice phishing takes place. So these are the major 5 particularly online fraud under this Haichi 6 they are targeting on. Investment fraud, romance scams, money laundering associated with online with illegal online gaming, online sextortion, and voice phishing. So these are the major particular types which we are focusing on. Now, this also becomes very important from examination point of view. This is a particularly first time. This, you can see the man who is highlighted in this picture is the particularly individual, and now you can say that he is a particular person either from some of the Muslim countries, and he is your representative of Taliban in one of the major particular organization or initiative, that is Moscow Format. So at 7th Moscow Format meeting, Taliban officials attended as a formal participant for the first time. So that's why this becomes very important. You can see Indian representative is also standing here. So the delegates from your different countries, they represent in an organization that is your Moscow Format. This is a Russian-based organization or Russian-based meeting, and Taliban first time as an official participant has taken part in this. That's why this article also becomes very important from examination point of view. And this Moscow Forward was established in 2017 only. So it's a very new kind of organization with a regional platform, and aim is to promote peace, stability, national reconciliation in war-ravaged Afghanistan. Or aim is also to actually protect or look after the stability in Afghanistan. And the first time the representation of such Talibani in this system is also one of the positive aspect which you will see. Who are the members? So this also becomes very important. India, Afghanistan, China, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. So majorly the Central Asian country, and your China, Iran, Russia, Uzbekistan, ये तो हो गए Central Asian. So India, Afghanistan, China, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. So these are the major countries which are actually part of this Moscow format meeting, and this is the first time when Taliban as a terrorist, जिसको हम कहते थे they are a recognized terrorist, as a Taliban particularly member officially represented in the meeting which was started in 2017, that is Moscow format meeting. So this article is also very important. Now the next article. President Draupadi Murmu presented the Diamond Jubilee Silver Trumpet and Trumpet Banner to the President's bodyguard, marking 75th year of service since their redesignation. What is redesignation is also very important here. So you can see these are the people always you will see in Republic Day parade. These are the person, whenever there is a Republic Day parade, they are the one who are carrying the particularly president. So president come with this particular forces, and they also leave with the same forces. Plus after 2 to 3 days there is a beating the retreat kind of a event which occurs in your president house, that is in your Rashtrapati Bhavan, and these are the forces, major forces which are present there. So that's why now they have been designated, their silver jubilee has been occurred, 75th year of redesignation has also taken place. So this becomes very important from examination point of view. And the President Guards are the oldest army units of basically in the country. That's why this is very important. It is the oldest regiment in the Indian Army and the most senior unit of the army, and they are directly guarding the your president. So this is the two important aspects of this. Plus, if I want to become part, let's say I want to become part of the president bodyguard, then the minimum criteria is that at least I should be of 6 feet ka height. So this is also one of the important aspect. Men of this president bodyguard must meet very specific and high physical standard, including a minimum height of 6 feet. So this is also one of the aspect which you will see. And why it is one of the oldest forces? Because it was formed when there was a first, you will see, the first Bengal, it was formed in 1773 Banaras, and by the first Governor General at the time of Warren Hastings. So that's why this is known as one of the oldest kind of regiment of army which you will see, which is actually continuously in the process from year 1773. So President Bodyguard was raised in 1773 at Banaras, which is now called as a Varanasi, my hometown, by the first Governor General Warren Hastings, with support from Raja Ched Singh, who was actually the Raja of Banaras at that time. Now Banaras is also in news because of one reason. What is the reason? Banaras has surpasses the Goa and all the major tourist place right now. Yani ki people are not visiting Goa right now. People are not visiting the other tourist place which are Jaipur. Like Jaipur and Goa are the two major places where people visit for the tourism perspective. But now Banaras, that is Varanasi, has surpasses these two prominent tourist sites of the country. So Banaras has become one of the India's largest place where people are continuously visiting. So this is one of the positive aspect. And yes, I can see, because recently I have visited Banaras, my hometown only. Earlier there used to be like let's say my village is on an average 40-45 kilometers from your main city area, that is from the main station. So when in childhood when we used to visit our particular village, only 5 to 6 kilometers were a pakka road, and after that there was a whole kacha road was there. But now when we visit our hometown, on an average 70% of the roads are pakka road, 30% the road which is actually from where we go to the village area, वो भी टूटी फूटी सी है, but still there is a kind of a pakka road which is present. So on an average 70 to 80% of the road and the particularly features and the particular area is in a very better condition, and lot of people who were actually migrating to different cities for the job purposes, they are getting back because of the tourism. Majority of the individuals, they are getting a good number of job in the city only. So this is the change which I have saw in my particularly hometown. So that's why this is extra news. Why you will see, because of the increase of tourism, lot of people had get particularly employment in your Banaras, and majority of the people who left their cities, who left the villages, they are coming back to the cities and the Banaras. This is also one of the positive point you will see because of the increase of tourism in the Banaras. So this organization was formed in 1773 at Banaras by first particularly Governor General Warren Hastings and with the support of Raja Chet Singh. Now redesignation, why redesignation? Because this regiment was renamed by after partition, that is after independence. So it was renamed in 1950 as a President Body Guard Regiment. So earlier they were known as part of the British Bodyguard, then later they were known as President Bodyguard Regiment. That's why they have been redesignated. So from 1950 till year 2025, they have been completed their 75 years. That's why they are in news. So this is the fact, this is the modern history fact which becomes important because UPSC asks question from your modern history angle. So that's all for today. There are a lot of small and chotu articles also we have discussed. Now Monday we will meet and we will try to cover all the Nobel prizes, and we will see what is the Nobel prize, who will get the Nobel Peace Prize also today. But I will make sure that by Monday or by thoda karke by the next week we will cover, let's say if one day we will going to cover Nobel Peace in Chemistry, second day Nobel Peace in Physics, Literature. So we will try to complete this Nobel Prize series next week, so that we try like before Diwali we can complete the whole Nobel Prize, because UPSC asks questions from Nobel Prizes. So and this time not lot of T cells like your cancer cells and good number of people they have get award in the good kind of inventions and good kind of a study. So it becomes important from examination point of view. So we will going to study in detail what are the aspects and what are the things which is important from Nobel Prize, when first person was given, and what are the other criteria which are who decide that who will be given Nobel Prize in which field, what are the authorities, so and who are the person who got the awards on which field, what is the actually importance and relevance of that thing in the normal pay perspective, and how they are important from UPSC point of view. So we'll try to discuss the Nobel Prize series next week. So that's all for today. We'll meet on Monday. All the best. Take care and have a nice